So I want to show you a way to add two layers of data or two data types on one map and still make them visible, because when you put it in a story map, if you have two polygon layers or shapes of states, one will cover the other and you won't be able to see them. So I started a map called multivariate, and I'm going to open it up. You can see it's not shared yet. And this lets me edit if I want to edit the title, the description. I can do that here. I'm going to open it in the map viewer. And there's nothing yet on the map. So I'm going to go ahead and add one of the zipped files. Oh, sorry. And I have South Hemisphere. I'm going to import the layer. Okay, so this defaults to something. Choose an attribute, which just means a table of data. And so there's all of the different options. It defaults to something called PNUE13. So if you pull up the data guide I gave you, you can see that that means the number of children who died from pneumonia in 2013. So that's a count and an amount, and so it's a number. It's not a type of anything. And so I can choose to show it by dots, graduated symbols, or by polygons. So if I select that, it will show it by polygons. But actually, I want to show urbanization. So I'm going to go percent of urbanization in 2050. That's down here. Actually, I want to go back and let's do 2010 just for fun. And I want to go ahead and show the dots. I want to change those dots to be classified data so that the has a little more sense there. I don't want to show circles. I would like to actually show a different shape. So I'm going to click the shape. I like those blue squares, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to say OK here and done. And instead of Southern Hemisphere, I need to rename this to percent urban. Is that what I did? Shoot, I'm not sure that's what I did. That was the second. Yeah. I think that was it. Ugh. Okay, so this is how we have to so I have whoops, zooming out here. So I've kind of got a percent urban in 2010, and that kind of works for me. So now I'm going to add another data layer, and I'm going to just add a second copy of that same zipped file. Again, it kind of defaults to that. So if I put dots over dots, you can kind of see them, but it's a little bit confusing. So this time I'm going to choose the polygon, and I want to look at current urbanization compared to the projected urbanization. So I'm going to go back to options. I'm going to classify the data. I want to pick orange because orange and blue are complementary, so that would be a nice contrast. I like that. I'm going to choose OK and done. Okay, so I'm going to rename this. (2050). Now I've got a little problem in that the polygons are covering up the points or the dots. So I can just change the order. I can move that up. And so now I have a multivariate map. I'm showing my 89 to 100%. So I can see that in Brazil in 2050, there is a little bit of movement. And do I see anywhere that where there's even more movement of urbanization? Wow, look at these little islands. Of course, they're so small. So that is a way to show multi layers of data on the same map. And then I could even add a third one, but at that point, then I've got some problems. So I would keep it to 2 layers on one map, and I think that will really look nice in your story maps.